Greetings, this is Scotty Reed, Black Talk Radio News, Views, and Music. And I just wanted to quickly give my thoughts on this incident that happened with this North Korean soldier reportedly shooting his entire platoon, including the officers. Now, I don't know what the makeup of a platoon is in the North Korean military, but in the U.S. Army, that can be anywhere from 20 to 25 people on up. You usually have about four squads, and that can have about five or more people in each squad, and that makes up a platoon. And so, I think that this North Korean soldier who murdered his fellow soldiers should not be granted amnesty or political asylum because he took somebody's life. Okay, people can say all they want to say about how oppressive the North Korean government is. Personally, I don't know anybody from North Korea. I've never traveled to North Korea. All I know is what I hear through mainstream media and corporate corporations. So, we don't even know the truth about what's going on in North Korea. But let's just say, take for granted that, yes, it is a very oppressive government. All right, does that justify this soldier taking the lives of other soldiers just so he can escape to a better life? Did he stop to even ask these other soldiers if they wanted to go with him? We don't know. And people want to look at them like their lives meant nothing. How do, we can probably imagine, they probably stomped babies and did all of these crimes against humanity. Well, how do we know this guy isn't guilty of crimes himself? I just don't think that we can sit up here and say that the North Korean government being oppressive is justification for this one individual to murder his fellow soldiers, people who trusted him, people that he killed, who were unsuspecting about what was getting ready to go down. They didn't have a choice. He just murdered them and ran across the border. Again, people want to talk about how oppressive the North Korean government is. Well, look at how oppressive the United States government is. I've heard about, well, you might have to go through checkpoints and stuff like that in North Korea. You don't have freedom of movement. Well, I can just point to New York City, and we know what's going on in cities across this nation of the United States. Stop and frisk in New York. Largest police department on the face of the earth, and they stop and frisk, making people go through checkpoints based simply because of their skin color. Now tell me, that ain't oppressive. Does North Korea have as many people incarcerated in its prisons as the United States? No, they don't. Okay, the United States leads all countries in the incarceration of its citizens. The vast majority of them are for nonviolent drug crimes, okay? And we know the vast majority of those nonviolent drug offenders are black, all right, being targeted by a racist policy. Let's stay on the oppression. How many does North Korea indefinitely detain its citizens and deny them a right to a trial? Well, I don't know. Honestly, I can't answer that question. But I know the United States does. Okay, is North Korea shooting missiles in the crowded marketplace in civilian areas to go after one or two people who have been proven guilty of terrorism but are quote unquote suspected militants in Pakistan? We're killing women, children. It don't matter. It don't matter. Not only do we have these drones killing innocent people in Pakistan, they're in Yemen, where we took out one 16-year-old U.S. citizen. All right. And so when I look at Africa and I look at what's going on in Africa, the drones, I think it was Somalia, it was the UN that said the United States was endangering the airspace of, I think it was either Nigeria or Somalia, because of all the drones that they had flying all over there. Now, let's think of another hypothetical scenario. Let's say as a black person, a black man who is targeted for the private prison plantation, some kind of way, as a black man who is liable to get shot and killed by a police officer walking down the street in any city of the United States, or getting beat up or anything like that. So, let's say I feel oppressed, so I want to escape to Cuba and ask them to grant me political asylum. So, I save up some money and I act like, I want to go on this deep sea fishing cruise, and I charter a boat and I had a skipper and his crew take me off the coast of Florida. And then I produce a gun, a handgun, and I threaten their lives and say, I want you to take me to Cuba. All right, I want to defect to Cuba. And then I, allow them to get me as close as possible, and then I kill them. All right, how many people in the United States will be demanding that Cuba extradite me back here to the United States so that I can stand trial and be executed? There is no excuse for this man, this North Korean soldier, to murder 6 other people. Well, excuse me, I don't know how many, up to 20 people. If reports are true that he killed his platoon, including the officers, it could be up to 20 people, and that he shouldn't have to face justice for his crimes, that he shouldn't be extradited back to North Korea. So you're going to harbor a murderer and give him political asylum. That ain't right. That is not right. I don't care how you try to look at it. All right. And the crimes of the North Korean government does not necessarily translate to these soldiers being complicit in their crimes. And if you want to say they are, well, the man who killed them, who is now defected to South Korea, is a soldier as well. And so he should be held to the same standard. I say send him back to North Korea to stand trial or whatever justice system they have for him admittedly killing all these other people just so he could run across the border. This is Scotty Reed. I'm out.